Hello, I'm Dr. Beth Colby from Talk Mental Health. A delusion is a fixed false belief held firmly despite evidence to the contrary, which is out of keeping with a person's social, educational and cultural background. It is based on an incorrect interpretation of reality. There are several themes that can be seen in delusions, and I'll go through each one in turn. The delusions I'm going to talk about include persecutory, grandiose, erotomanic, jealous, controlling, referential, nihilistic and somatic. Now, some people may hold more than one delusional belief, and delusional beliefs don't just come out of a vacuum. They are affected by a person's culture and background. So, for instance, somebody who's religious and has a grandiose delusion may believe that they are Jesus Christ or one of the Hindu gods. But that wouldn't happen with somebody who wasn't religious. So the first delusion I'm going to talk about is persecutory delusion. This is often known as a paranoid delusion. Most of the other delusions, if not all, are also classified as paranoid. So don't equate paranoid with persecutory. So if a person has a persecutory delusion, they believe that someone or something or some organisation, for whatever reason, wanting to harm them in some way. They may not know who or what this is, or they may totally know who they believe it might be. So they really believe that somebody or something is out to get them. So people might believe that their neighbours or colleagues or family or the government want to harm them, either by making them lose their job or send them to prison, get them arrested because perhaps they're a terrorist or they belong to a certain political party, or even because they've got a blue car. People may believe that they're being followed or harassed or spied on, poisoned or cheated out of something. The next delusion is a grandiose delusion. People who have delusions with this theme believe that they are better than others in a certain way, special, more important, have a higher status. Another term is delusions of grandeur. They may believe they have special powers or talents, or, as I said earlier, believe that they are a god, or they could believe that they're a famous singer or sports star. Because of their beliefs, people believe that they should be publicly acknowledged, recognised, treated different, treated as special. Next is erotomanic delusions, or delusions of love. So the name for this is erotomania, and people with this delusion believe that somebody who is actually a celebrity or a famous person or somebody in a political position is in love with them. Often the person who has this delusional belief hasn't even met the person who they believe is in love with them. People may try and contact the celebrity or famous person by email or by sending gifts or trying to phone them. In extreme cases, somebody might stalk the celebrity they believe is in love with them. The next delusion is delusions of jealousy or infidelity. And basically, a person believes that their spouse or partner is having an affair, and this belief is based on no evidence at all that they can show, or it could be that they believe it because when they got to a junction the lights turned red, or that the post came at 2 o'clock that day. So it's based on something that's nothing to do with their spouse or partner. So in fact, the spouse or partner may be having an affair, but if the person believes that they're having an affair because of the light changing, then it's based on faulty evidence and an unreal perception of reality, and therefore the belief is delusional, even though it's true. The person may go to extreme lengths to try and find evidence for the person's unfaithfulness, may search their phone and emails and belongings, etc., to try and find some. Because of their belief, they therefore become jealous, and that's why it's called a jealous delusion. The name for a particular delusion of this kind is called Othello syndrome. Now, delusions of control come next. Some of these are first-rank symptoms of schizophrenia, and they can include that people are being made to do things, their bodies moving because of a certain external force, or thoughts are being put into their head, broadcast out or interfered with in some way. They may believe that they've got a device inserted in some part of their body that is making them behave or do things or say things in a certain way, and it is that that's controlling them. Referential delusions are when a person believes that something ordinary that happens has special significance in their lives, even though there's no logical connection to them. So the example I gave of a jealous delusion was of a person who believed that their spouse was being unfaithful because the lights turned red when they got to the junction. Now that would be a delusion of reference, because it was that light turning that referred or spoke to them about their spouse, and the light and their spouse have got nothing to do with each other, but that's what is called a delusion of reference. So people might believe that the television is talking to them because the newsreader has touched their hair or something, and that means something in particular. Perhaps an erotomanic delusion that the TV presenter's in love with the person watching, and they know that because the person's touched their hair at a certain time or whatever, and that's what they base their false belief on. And it could be that 3 white cars go past the person in a row and that means something, or because somebody's ordered a particular type of pizza while they're at the pizza restaurant, and that means something to them. So they're all everyday occurrences that seemingly don't mean anything in particular. The person takes it on as being of significance to them. Nihilistic delusions include a person believing that they're dead or that they don't have a brain. The name nihilism comes from a philosophical concept that nothing in existence is meaningful at all. People may also believe that a part of their body is missing, or that the world does not exist. Or they could believe that something dreadful is going to happen soon, that soon their arm will be missing, or that the world will come to an end. These are all examples of Cotard syndrome, which is a nihilistic delusion. Finally, somatic delusions. These delusions are to do with health and bodily function. Examples of these include Ekbom delusion, where a person has false beliefs about being infested with insects or organisms, despite having been checked out that there is no infestation and that there is no evidence for such an infestation. People might believe, for instance, because they feel thirsty, that they've got kidney cancer. Now that's totally irrational. There's no reason why they should believe that. There's been no investigations of their kidneys or anything to suggest that they've got cancer, and no symptoms of cancer, but it's a normal, healthy sensation that people are attributing to something very serious. Well, we've run through quite a few delusions, haven't we? Let me see if I can recap what they are, or whether you can remember any of them. So we started with persecutory, grandiose, erotomanic, jealous, then controlling, referential, nihilistic and somatic. I hope that's been interesting and useful for you. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.